Before we get through discussing the principle of preload and afterload, we're gonna talk a little about Frankenstein law. The principle of Frankenstein law states that the greater the hard muscle is stretching, the greater the force of contracting generated. So this is illustrate the principle of preload. Preload simply the load before the hard muscle contracting, while the afterload is the load after contract. Here, to illustrate the principle of preload, the linear muscle is subjected to the weight or force. So the force is going to stretch the relaxed muscle. So in this case, the principle of preload assess the intrinsic property of the muscle. Whereas the afterload, after contracting of the muscle, they generate forces that exceed the weight. So this is the represents the resistance. So in this case, the principle of afterload is assess the systematic resistance. So in this heart, so in the real heart, so after the ventricle it felt expanding due to the filling from the blood comes from the vena cava. So before contracting, they filled with the blood stretching. So this is the represent illustrate the principle of preload. After contracting, they generate force that exceed after contracting afterload. They generate force that exceed the iodic resistance. So iodic resistance after load. So for the clinical correlated for this, the afterload is very important, especially for the older people, because the older people the artery of their body is become narrow. It's called atherosclerosis. So the principle or afterload in this case assists the systematic resistance for the older people to check or whether there is resistance or there is something problem in the fiber of the myocardium.